Hey there, friends. Welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm, of course, Paul Glasgow here, the one and only truth pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. Every single day. If you don't see one of my videos on a daily basis, go look for it. That means you've been unsubscribed or you're not getting the notifications because the videos are going out the door every single day. So go look for them if you're not getting notified of them. I'm out here, obviously, at the gun range. You're going to hear shots firing in the background because I'm at a gun range. And for those of you that say, I can't believe you're filming at a gun range, I'm filming at a gun range. So just deal with it. It's going to happen. This is where I feel happy. This is my happy place. My safe space has explosions. I'm out here running my CMMG Descent in 9mm. I also have a CMMG can on the front of it. Of course, I have my Gideon optics on it. And the reason why is because I am going on an alligator hunt in a couple days with one of the better guides in this whole area down here in South Louisiana. That's Ryan Marino. I'm going with my friend David Griffin. So we're going to be running some stuff. Of course, if you know anything about alligator hunting, you're shooting at a brain about the size of a golf ball. So you want not only a good shot, but you also want to get penetration. So what I did is I ran and got some plus P ammunition for my 9mm Descent right here so that I can run that whenever we take some of these gators in a couple days. So looking forward to that. Speaking of being out here, you guys are probably a lot like me. Spend a lot of time out here, right? I know I do. I mean, it's second nature just to be out here. Again, this is my safe place. This is where I feel at home. This is where I probably get the most thinking done out here because it's just such a genuinely good feeling to be out here knowing that every time I pull the trigger, I'm more prepared to protect myself and my family. On the flip side of that, you have people who pretend to be prepared. You have people who run their mouths and talk a big game, but not a good game. I'm talking about Antifa. That's right, the group that they claim is not an organized group. And by the way, Christopher Wray ought to be in prison for lying in front of Congress, saying something stupid like that. Hopefully they will invite him back to clarify his remarks. But it's clearly a George Soros funded, Tides Foundation funded group. It just is. Piles of bricks don't just show up miraculously where nothing is being built. You get these little face mask protective coverings, not gas masks, but face masks to protect them against tear gas, pepper spray, things of that nature. They got their gallons of milk always there. Their little, you see that? I will take that down. Antifa is not the, they're organized on paper. They're not a threat in real life. These little sugar bears strut around like there's some kind of tip of an unstoppable spear. Black hoodies, masks, matching backpacks. It's cute, honestly. They look like they're playing Revolution with Dad's credit card from the safety aisle at Costco. They love to swarm around unarmed conservatives, old men, spit in old ladies' faces. Yeah, they love to pick fights with people who don't push back. But the second they face a fight on even terms, boom, gone. Like smoke from a burnt vegan muffin. Just dissipates off into the wind. Never to be seen again. Yeah, they're organized. And if by organized you mean they've got group chats, bike locks, umbrellas, milk jugs. Big deal. The right, on the other hand, blue-collar workers, veterans, ranchers, truck drivers, dads, who love their kids, who love their families, working class people. Not someone who buys work boots for the way they look, someone who buys work boots for what they provide, comfort while they're working. They don't just watch YouTube tutorials on how to properly throw a rock or a well-placed brick. No, they actually have real world, real life training. You see, Antifa's entire strength exists inside a bubble, not in actuality. Cities with politicians who wink at their little temper tantrums and cops who are told to stand down and let them be. Remove them from their little bubble and a slaughter would ensue. I mean, I know no other way to put it. But you won't find them in our neck of the woods. I'm down here in South Louisiana, nowhere to be seen. How far away or how close is Austin, Texas to Lake Charles, Louisiana? That's how close Antifa is to where I live. They won't come down here. They know better. People like us live where the bubble doesn't exist that protects these people. I mean, the right would absolutely crush them. And not win, crush them. It doesn't matter how well funded your little pallet of bricks is, Because against trained, armed, disciplined Americans, it's lights out. The reality is that Antifa's biggest weapon isn't their fists. It's the legal shield of friendly cities and their mouths. They run their mouths. The only strength they have is their freaking mouth and the funding behind them. That's it. They don't bring anything else to the table. Now I want to give you some other numbers because I think sometimes whenever we see their little cosplaying and their little Instagram pictures where they dress up with their little Amazon gear, tactical gear, their blue hair and their boyfriends, they take these little Instagram pictures like puffing all up. Because let's face it, the phrase they hate us because they ain't us, they envy the hell out of us. They know that we train. They know that we work hard. They know that we are prepared. They know that we don't take crap from anybody, especially them. They know all these things. But these people grew up soft, pudgy, fat, gay. They grew up with every possible weakness thrown at them. Now, enter trans. All these things that have made them complete wastes of human life. They still envy us. They don't tell you that. They'll never say that. But they want to be like us. That's why they hate us so much. That's why they play dress up on their little Instagram post, because they're pretending to be us. So I want to share some numbers with you. I want to share some readiness numbers with you. Now, I'm not implying that everybody on the right is ready and well trained. I want to make sure I get that disclaimer out of the way right now. Just because you own a gun does not mean that you're some kind of a badass. I don't care which side you're on. But I think we can all agree that most of us and our friends and our acquaintances are somewhat trained. You know, I'm not saying you jump out of helicopters and stuff like that, but you know your way around a firearm, you know your way around your home, and you know what it's going to take to protect yourself and your family if that time ever comes, right? Let's talk about things that we have to protect ourselves. And I got to be careful with the words that I say here because of YouTube. Firearms. Quick guess. How many firearm owners would you think were in Antifa? Not on the left, not Democrats, but I'm talking about Antifa, the real threat, Antifa. How many firearms would you say? Let's say firearms owners first. Let's just go there. I ran some numbers, and the official numbers, and this is a big wide gap, that there are between 5,000 and 50,000 Antifa gun owners. Now I say that's a huge gap, right? I say that because there's no official sign-up page for Antifa, so you just have to assume that their acquaintances in some cases are gun owners. So it's people who are loosely or closely affiliated with Antifa that they're counting. Again, that's why you have such a large gap. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say best case scenario. They have 50,000 gun owners in Antifa. That sounds pretty large. That sounds pretty organized. Again, Christopher Wray lied to Congress when he said they weren't organized. If I can pull numbers stating that there's 50,000 gun owners who are Antifa, then that means that everybody else knows that there's at least 50,000 Antifa members. Again, sounds kind of organized. How many would you say are on the right? And again, I'm not talking about how many guns are owned. I'm talking about how many gun owners would you say are on the right? Individuals who own firearms. The numbers I found on the low side are 55 million that they know of that own firearms. I'd say there's probably 100 million because there's a lot of firearms owners out there that they don't know about, right? I know a lot of you out there watching right now are like, I'm one of those. So let's use the worst case scenario for us. 55 million, which again, we know it's closer to 100 million, but 55 million people own guns versus 50,000 at best with Antifa. So already 50,000 to 55 million, a little lopsided. If you're just curious about how many actual guns are owned by each side, the numbers are just under 100,000 guns owned by those 50,000 Antifa gun owners. And guess how many the right owns? Out of those 55 million gun owners on the right, they estimate between 200 and 300 million firearms owned by that group of people. I'll take our side all day long. In fact, that's some of them right over there, right? practicing, training, getting ready for these little bubbleheads in Portland, Austin, and other places like that. They're probably praying to please come down to Lake Charles, Louisiana, right? Look, guys, Antifa has these weird little wet dreams of some glorious revolution where their boyfriends will celebrate their conquest with endless nights of raw dog butt piracy, or the blue-haired fatties will win a year's supply of fudge rounds and chicken nuggets. But let's be honest, it's not a fair fight whenever we show up. It's just not. And they know that. They know their territories. That's why they don't come down here. Yes, I feel sorry for my friends in those areas who have to deal with them. And not everybody can leave. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Just because you're behind enemy lines, yeah, the easy thing for people like us to say is, well, just move. You can't always, family, jobs. I understand when people can't just move. But I'm not going to live up there. No money, no offers of any kind are going to make me live in any of these territories where Antifa feels like they can get out there and run their mouths, because I know that they have the protection of local people, including law enforcement. And law enforcement, you know my problems with a lot of law enforcement. Law enforcement ought to be ashamed of themselves, because these same Antifa people that they protect and stand down on are the same ones that want to defund them, talk bad about them, spit on them, throw things at them. I have to wonder at some point if these officers don't stand down, because maybe they're just as soft as these Antifa people in some of these other communities out there. Maybe that's why. Maybe they know they actually can't go toe-to-toe with these people, which is even more sad to think of law enforcement like that. They stand down because they want to stand down in some cases. That's my guess. No, you see, Antifa plays soldier and we play for keeps. In the real world, the only thing that they're smashing is going to be the record for retreat. And we all know this. Guys, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Comment down below. Do you think I'm being too hard on Antifa? Do you think they have some tough guys in Antifa? Do you think that they have a legitimate front that they can make things happen? Or is it exactly what I'm saying? They stay in these little safe zones of theirs because they know damn well not to come in my neighborhood or yours. Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a book to educate yourself and to educate the idiots out there who can't think for themselves regarding mass shootings, go to damnliars.net. Again, damnliars.net, and get my brand new book, Damn Liars.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
It's hanging around.